in a few seconds. All right, there we go. It is official. We are here. Whoa, what just happened to y'all? You disappeared on me.
Hold
I'm
on,
just
hold on.
here. I
Hold
was
on.
downloading. I didn't know it was the app. I just downloaded the app.
I guess it's different. There's more than one way to do it.
Oh no, I mean I'm on the streamer thing. I mean on the website thing, but I just
Yeah,
downloaded
All
the
right,
app.
you see me?
yeah, I'm on the website. Yeah. All right, we're still learning about it.
What the hell?
I don't even know if there is.
Okay, I got 15%. All right, I'm gonna keep this on.
You got a charger?
Yeah, I got it on the charger.
All right. Oh, you got your thing to the side. Oh no, maybe I should turn my to the side.
Like this. All right, we'll figure it out. But yo, it's great to see y'all. It's great to do another episode. Great to get this out to the people.
So, well. I don't know what to tell you guys, man.
Oh, where you want to start, man? This Jonathan Major thing.
Oh, he finally. I don't know if you guys seen the interview, but he didn't say much. He said a bunch of nothing.
We're talking about Jonathan Majors.
Yeah, he was safe. He said he disagreed with the verdict. He just I told you he basically used a bunch of Twitter talking points. So I think this is where I'm starting to think that people are like I know PR firms do this. They'll scour social media just to get an idea of what the general public is saying about a situation, and they'll form their statements around that. So when you listen to him speak, he basically used the same example Greg was talking about in the space. He said, she asked him, she said, "Do you think the outcome would have been different if you had been a white man?" He said, "Let's just reverse that. Imagine if I had been a black man chasing a white woman through the streets, running for her life, saying, 'Help me.'" Right? And it's like, bro, and it's like, well, it's not original, but it works, right? Because a lot of the people who make these decisions at the top are over the age of 40, right? 50 plus. They don't necessarily be on social media like that. Whereas we all looking at this like, bro, this nigga just really just did a tweet, and but with tears rolling down his face. The man did like this. He sold a little sob tears, like you said.
Yeah,
He
So
did
I'm looking at
everything.
this and I'm like,
he's an actor. He got to still be in it. I always
yeah,
say
He can.
actors they act on and off the screen. They have to.
yeah. And
I
it's
feel
like,
like the whole thing could have been scripted, or it could have just been what Katt Williams mentioned. It was just
More than
like
scripted, though, because he said everything he was supposed to say.
they tried to tell anybody that would listen that this man was one of the sexiest men alive, and he's ugly, right?
listen, it's definitely scripted. I'm gonna tell you why I know it's scripted, right? So the interview place that publicized interview, right? They're owned by Disney.
Right.
So Disney fired him on this hand, and on this hand, hey, we'll give you an interview to come clear all this shit up, right? And so what they're gonna do is they're gonna put their pulse back on it and say, okay, how put their finger back on the pulse, like, okay, how do people receive this, right? And he's able to overturn it, then they'll spin it as he's a victim of the system, right? Blah blah blah. They did the same thing with James Gunn. James Gunn recently got some shit, and they kicked him off of Guardians of the Galaxy 3. The shit just dropped with his name on it, and now he has this big ass deal with Warner Brothers. So I think they'll find a way to bring him back because rewriting the multiverse, multiverse saga is going to be way too much money, right? And at the end of the day, it's not about what's right or wrong with it. It's about money, right? What can they do to get away with it? And it turns out this wokeness shit ain't selling like they thought it was. Now go ahead, Greg. My bad.
I met a guy a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
Because I just want to focus on Jonathan Majors in Disney and his job and what Katt Williams said. They could take away whatever they gave you, right?
Yeah.
And that was good enough for them to keep him or fire him. You done been in those situations. I used to have a teacher that I used to work with, right? And he was like, "Man, I was with AT&T. I was making this was back in 2017. He was like, I'm making $150,000 a year, and they just fired me for no reason. They just fired me. They waited a couple months, and they asked me if I wanted my job back, and I said, hell yeah, I want my job back. But they brought me back on an $80,000 salary.
How much of a dip?
And
That's
that's how I feel
$70,000 pay
like
cut.
Disney
$7,000 pay
Oh, I
cut.
didn't hear the first one. All
One
right.
hundred
does
fifty
it.
thousand dollars.
Oh,
Yeah, so
snap.
that's how I feel like Disney is the same thing. Marvel, what all of those guys, right?
That's a good point.
Fire them. Okay, we're gonna give you another shot, but you finna take a pay cut,
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not worth it.
and
I don't
that's
know.
how they gonna do
Or
it.
you can argue that he's not worth it. I should say.
That's how
I don't know. I think
that's how they gonna do it.
no. But the not worth it
You
part.
gonna take a pay cut, son.
One way
But
or
I
another.
do think I don't know. It's a lot of variables because maybe he started, growing a backbone and hey, I'm gonna do this and started demanding a little bit too much, and then they had to drop their nuts on him
You think
real
the
quick.
man
That
that
could
did
have
the
that
video
could
that
have
we all
worked too.
saw on
We
ABC? I don't know how long it was. I
trust
saw
me,
6 minutes of it. But you think that
they
man
could drop their
do a
nuts on you
backflip?
and let you know who's boss. You
Yes.
know.
Yo, Greg, can you hear me?
So as a
Yo, Greg, can you hear Knox?
can I hear you?
Knox, can you hear Knox?
I'm wondering, can you hear me?
Can't hear you.
Oh, damn. I wonder if there's something on your screen that you can click and maybe
Can't hear you.
Yeah, do it for me.
Yeah, I can hear you. He's saying, is there something on your screen that you can click or something?
Like a mute button on me that is
Like
All
a
right,
mute
hold
button
on.
on him. Let me see.
you've been
No,
doing this the
he ain't
whole time.
muted.
I thought it was just you wanted to get whatever on your mind off.
No,
Damn.
he's muted himself now.
Maybe it's on my end. Let me see.
Oh, I can hear both of y'all.
Me too. I'm enjoying the conversation. I just want to make sure he can hear me because I'm adding stuff now to it.
Well, I mean, yeah, you probably
Here,
should
this
sleep.
is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this and then add him back. Let's see how this plays. Yeah, let's do this instead. Hey, Greg, how you?
All right.
You got me now?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I don't even know what I was gonna say anymore. Oh, that's what I was saying. You think the man that did that interview? I don't know how long it was. I saw 6 minutes of it, and I'm like, all right, this is staged, this is scripted. However, it's not rehearsed. You think the man that forced that interview grew a backbone?
Yes.
And he's ready to stand up for himself?
No.
No. He had the backbone. He had the spine. He had the backbone before that. They just ripped it out.
I don't even think he had it before.
I know he had it before.
Nah,
he
All right,
was feeling
y'all
himself before.
know his career better than me, so break it down for me.
Okay, so
He was feeling himself before.
if you listen to what they were saying, right? The way he was talking to the European woman, he was like, I am a great man.
Mhm.
I need a great woman by my side, like Coretta Scott King, Michelle Obama.
Yeah, but yeah,
Any woman I take care of is going to be great like me. Yo, this nigga was feeling himself.
no, he was feeling himself, but I don't think he actually
No,
believed himself.
no, I think he believed it. I'll tell you why. Because
You and I both know men that have said similar things. You and I would never say things, we just live it. Our actions speak.
but that's the thing. Listen, all right, so listen, right? Earlier when we were talking, right? And you was like, you was like, oh, I just say I'm handsome randomly, right? Every once in a while, right?
Oh, those fun moments. Yeah.
Just a reminder, right? Cool.
Just a reminder.
If I'm talking about, if I say, hey, I'm a smart guy, right?
Yeah.
I say that with the same level of me saying it's cold outside.
Exactly.
Or I'm wearing a black shirt.
And that's why I don't think Majors has it, because I think he was
very black. So I'm saying it like it's not a big deal. It just is what it is. He's saying it to the fact where it's either he's trying to convince himself of this or he actually believes this, right? Now, whichever one, cool. But however, right, in a negotiating thing, if he's brainwashed himself this and he says it, right, whether he believes it or not, they're not going to argue with him. They're just going to take, all right, whatever. And it goes with what Griff saying. We'll humble you one way or another.
Yeah.
Because now it's like you've lost the Army commercial, which was a multi-million-dollar deal. You lost movies, and then you lost the Marvel thing. Now Marvel will take him back with open arms, but like Greg said, the price probably gonna drop because you can't charge the same now because they're taking a risk on you. You're no longer a safe actor.
Yeah, so it's not how I can say performance based because this still the movie. It's still plenty of guys who can act their ass off just like Jonathan Majors, right?
Yep.
It's kind of like the quarterback demanding more money. It's not plenty guys who could go out there and throw a ball and play quarterback at a certain level, right? So what they will do is say we made you here, we can make another one of you. You get what I'm saying? Um, that's how I look at it in the entertainment world. It's harder to do that in sports. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So, but even in sports, you'll have the guys who thinking they're better than what they is, and they end up getting cut.
Like Joe
Right?
Flacco, for example.
Right. So it's guys in the movie industry. He probably was feeling himself. I need more money. I'm Mr. This. And he probably really he just got his spine. And he didn't know how to use it because he never walked in there with one. Now, all of a sudden, he feel like he got a little power, and they took the power from him because all this shit could have been swept under the rug
Yeah, Ray Lewis
months
murdered
ago
him.
because she dropped the charges. New York still wanted to pursue the charges. They didn't even give him. They didn't even hear his side of the story. Remember, they dropped him soon as he allegedly got arrested.
Yeah. And I think they
Yep.
saw the play overall, and they knew that they should drop him for public value, knowing that they were always going to keep him in play.
Well, the thing about this whole situation, and I find very interesting, is when you look at the Grace Jabari girl, whatever, right? Like Grace,
There's nothing to look at. First and foremost,
no facts,
I've
but I'm
seen
saying,
prettier white women, way prettier.
no facts. But if you look at it like from
That's what pissed me off about him.
it is what it is, man. I guess he assumed that she was safe, but you're dating a European gang, like from Europe. Like, although they may seem quote unquote progressive, but they know where they at. And then he gets arrested, he goes to jail, whatever, right? She says she's gonna drop all the
What
charges.
does a European white woman know about Coretta Scott King?
Not a goddamn thing,
He's a
right?
kid.
And the thing is, and like you said, what really fucked him up was showing up the court with Megan Good. Oh, that had got to be the worst. But he even called her his Coretta Scott King. He
You
called
want
her his
Coretta
Coretta
Scott
Scott King.
King so bad, so be it,
Hey,
my brother.
honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think he's gonna bounce back from this.
Oh yeah, he gonna bounce back because
And he got away pretty well.
Where does he land?
Right where
I
he
like
was.
the way he acts, but he just made himself look like more of a loser in my eyes.
No, I mean,
But you got to do what you got to do.
As Will Smith.
listen, he plays winners. He's not a winner. Look at Will Smith. He plays winners. He's not a winner. Like if you look at these guys, right? Will Smith is such a good actor. He convinced everybody him and his wife had an amazing relationship. You take a look at what's the dude's name? J. Cole, who's like, I want that real love, that dark skin real love, that Jada in that real love. He don't even say that no more when you rapping that part. He doesn't say that anymore. You wanna know why? Because Will Smith and Jada Pinkett had a community food for damn near 30 years. We thinking like they're just a perfect couple. Like these are goals. They stayed together for X amount of Z, and it's like, wait, whole time Jada fucking a gardener? You know what I'm saying? And fucking like, so it's like these people aren't who they project to be.
Actors act on and off the
And
screen,
I know
and
that. You know that. That's the way I want to talk about it because, yes, I'm aware of what happened for the cameras. I'm aware of the public spectacle of it all and how this will play out nicely for him. But on a sincere level, where people actually respect him, absolutely not. He's like Kevin Hart now. He already was on that path, but now he's been forced to play this puppet role. And I highly doubt he's ever going to stand up for himself the same way Kevin Hart hasn't stood up for himself, and the same way Jordan, and so far Will Smith hasn't stood up for himself.
Wait. So
the Kevin Hart thing is throwing me a little bit, Knox.
No.
These men are happy where they are, but they're beholden to a system that sets them up for the life that they want. They're no different than anyone else on welfare, except their welfare pays better. But just because it pays better doesn't mean they're truly independent. And this goes back, you guys watched the Katt Williams thing. Katt Williams and Kevin Hart are more or less the same person. They're probably even the same fucking height. But at the end of the day, Katt Williams, he has his principles and he stands by them, even when
looks more free.
In ages.
I'm gonna tell you like this: he looks more free, and what I noticed,
he owns more of himself.
When he called them, said he sold all those guys sold their soul. Nobody said, you know what, fuck you. I ain't sell my soul. I got this because they ain't even they never denied it.
He said the biggest thing
They never denied it. They just attacked Katt Williams.
He
First
said
of
they
all,
pay you. No, go ahead.
huh?
No, go ahead.
No, first of all, it's kind of like, I'm sorry, if somebody, let's say somebody called me gay, right? And go on this whole alphacology, Mufasa is a gay campaign. First of all, the first thing I'm gonna say, no, I'm not gay. And whoever's saying that, you who started this campaign, I'm gonna beat your ass when I see you. That's it. It's on site. We gotta tussle. Right? That's all I'm thinking that, like, in my alpha male mind, that's all I'm thinking about. I gotta beat your ass, and now I gotta sit up here and tell everybody you're lying, and just about lying on me, I want to beat your ass, right? I want to fuck you up. That's just me. These guys were like, no, he's on drugs. Oh my God, he always doing this. They're hating on me. And it's like, bro, just say no, it's not true. Won't even say it's not true.
Well, they can't
That shit
because
bother. That shit eat me up inside. But I always figure it's industry plants because there's a lot of people out there who have this much talent versus people who got this much talent. And that's a part of probably knowing your worth. You probably have a glass ceiling. Somewhere you'll have a glass ceiling where if you don't kiss some, well, if you don't sell your soul or give some ass, you're not gonna get past that glass. And you gotta be fine with that. Or you gotta just let your talent speak for itself. Cause I always been a Katt Williams fan. Like, if he has a special, I'm gonna watch it before Kevin Hart special. Way before Kevin Hart was all famous and shit. It's a couple of comedians out there I'm going to watch if their special comes on.
You know, this is my thing, right? So this is why I want to kind of get a little pushback on Knox. So you said that basically, I don't see it like that. I see Katt Williams is like legitimately talented, right? And Kevin Hart is well connected. You see what I'm saying? So it's like Chris Brown said this one time, right? He was having a moment of fuck the good boy act. I'm just gonna be honest with you. He said a lot of y'all don't have talent. I'll be around forever,
Right?
Because I'm a talented individual, right? And so no matter what they do, because you can't control a million people anymore. You can't control people, right? People are gonna make any decision they want, which is why Katt Williams has sold out cities around this country for 19 years straight.
That next Katt Williams show is going to be sold out again.
But that's the thing, though. He's that talented. Kevin Hart, he just blew up not too long ago. And the thing is, the difference between them two is Katt Williams is like legitimately funny. Kevin Hart is goofy.
I hear what you're saying. I'm not seeing the difference. I don't see the disagreement yet.
The difference is this, right? So if packaged the right way, you can make Kevin Hart look great. Katt Williams doesn't need the packaging.
No, he doesn't. He's solid.
So I'm saying that's a big difference.
What I'm saying is
his talent stands alone.
Yeah, but so like you don't have to.
Talking about talent. I'm just talking about
his competition.
No. I'm talking about conviction and trajectory. So you have, where are we at? They're basically doing the same thing. Katt Williams has an integrity that Kevin Hart does not. And Kevin Hart, because he lacks that integrity, the system backs him more consistently than they would ever choose to back a Katt Williams because he doesn't fit the narrative they want.
But the reason why, here's the thing, when you would, so I'll give an example, right? So in football, they have this thing called daddy ball, right? If your coach is a dad, he draws up plays for you and shit like that, right? Now, if you're an actual talented athlete, you don't need that. Like the ball's gonna come to you.
Oh yeah. I'm not even complaining. I'm not upset.
One of them is engaging in daddy ball, right? And the other one's actually talented. So you said the same person. I'm like, no, because I think if Kevin Hart had the talent that Katt Williams had, I don't think he would behave in this way. Look at the most talented people, right? They do what they want. Like they piss everybody off because at the end of the day, even though you hate me, I still put asses in the seat. Same thing with Michael Jackson. They absolutely hated Michael Jackson. He fucked them over, right, with the Sony deal, right? He's fucking Michael Jackson. Like, you know what I mean? That's a very different story than what's the fuck the dude's name is?
I don't even remember his name. Like that, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Something like so. Like I hear what you're saying as far as they're in the same realm of doing things, but by no means are the same person. Like
okay, I hear what you're saying. Yeah. I just meant to say that they're the same archetype, not the same person.
All right. I mean, yeah. Short, funny guy.
You like,
nah, because it's like so. I get where you coming from, but like to me, it's like how it was earlier when that young lady compared the gray chick to Halle Berry. I'm like, what the fuck? No, they're both actors.
Oh yeah.
They both play in movies, but make no mistake about it, there's a miles in between the two.
Absolutely.
You know?
So when I think of Kevin Hart, I think about the apologies. I think about the many things he's done to be put on to greater levels, and why he's had
something he done that you like.
Time. What's up? And think about the people that he works with, like the what's his name, Dwayne Johnsons of the world, the Oprahs of the world, the different people that are also in that camp. We're sold.
Can we actually sit up here and name something that you like Kevin Hart did?
Paper Soldiers.
Central Intelligence.
Paper Soldiers.
Central
I've never
Intelligence.
actually watched Paper Soldiers, and I don't think I would. I don't see why I watch that.
I don't see Kevin Hart as a role model that I would want my children to know about, but I can say that about Katt Williams.
Yeah, so they're not the same person.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that difference in who they are lends itself to the Jonathan Major story. And now Jonathan Major has decisively chosen to be in that Kevin Hart camp.
We'll see. Because I think the problem is, I think he was there.
We'll see. We saw him do a bad version of it. How is that interview any different than when, what's his name, Kevin Hart did that apology tour for the Golden Globes or something? What do you want it to be, in the Oscars his whole life? And they dangled that in front of him. Here, boy, we'll give you what you want if you just say these few words on the teleprompter. And he worked harder on that presentation. He worked harder on that presentation than he has in any other movie prior. That's when he became an actor. Because we know he doesn't believe the stuff that he has to put up with. But now he's willing to do it because it's like, hey, this is I've wanted this my whole life. They know what I want, and I've literally been bought for 3 years.
They dangle that, you know. And I made a joke about this a long time ago. I said, if I had $1 billion, I'd probably, like, in my day off of being doing or working or whatever I'm doing in my billionaire ways, I'd probably just go around paying people to do dumb shit.
You have to. Because you can buy anything, but the one thing
you can do anything with people. Like, but you know what? And I put myself in that kind of position, and what scares a motherfucker the most, if they have all this money and all these people doing whatever they want them to do, is
they get bored.
It would be the person that tells me no. I would be pissed at them. I'll be intrigued. I'll be pissed. I'm gonna make it my duty to make sure you never get on my level, because that's my direct competition. But guess what? You can't really have direct competition if I made you get there and you bow down to me before you get there. You know what I'm saying? And I only think a man is supposed to have what I call like a one handler. That should be your father, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's one guy you'll listen to. And if he tell you to stop, you stop, right? Because that's the person that nobody's gonna love you like your parents, right?
Yeah, he's invested in your legacy because it's part of his.
Because it's part of his.
Amen.
Versus somebody who just want to get to the top and they'll do anything for it. Those the type of people they want in Hollywood. Yeah. Those type of people that want there. The people that'll do anything for it. The people that'll sit on the casting couch. The people that would lay on their back or their stomach or do whatever weirdo shit they want them to do, because that's power over you.
No, absolutely.
I got power. You know what I'm saying?
And the reason why,
that's what predators like. Predators like prey. That's their power over them. So that's, if you're a predatory as person, it's easy for you to get along in Hollywood, or that's like a playground for you. That's the devil's playground right there, right? So everybody either power hungry or just hungry for attention, which is called, I just call it high level attention, which I call fame. So we got high level attention. Some people earn their fame by their talent, and some people earn their fame by sleeping with the right people. We gonna keep it, or selling their soul,
You know,
or the Illuminati thing. I always said all that shit real. Whatever they say, from casting couches to Illuminati, all that shit real. It's real as
they
hell.
might call it a different name, but it's not,
They
like
might call it, it's the same shit,
Tupac
different
said this.
toilet.
Tupac
Okay,
said that.
we gonna give you $1 million. All you gotta do is this, and this. Oh yeah, by the way, go in that corner over there. We got something. You know what I'm saying? It's there. It's there. We just like, it's kind of like hard, because it's like, man, no way. Nobody told us about this. Nobody, but now we have the internet and the information age, and a bunch of people exposing it. Katt Williams, for example, has been telling us about these people for a long
It's his
time
career.
in his comedy shows.
Yeah.
And it's like he tells the truth. He just makes it funny. When
Yeah,
I tell the truth, it's offensive. But when he tells the
Tell a
truth,
joke, but it ain't gonna tell you no lie now.
exactly. So he makes it funny.
He's
And then you're like, wait a minute. Now these
Dave Chappelle's.
You said what
same
now?
thing with Dave Chappelle been doing that for the longest. Just like Katt Williams mentioned
Dave
Dave
Chappelle does it,
Chappelle,
but
right?
he's very much part of the camp that he criticizes, which is why his criticisms are on point, because he understands it from so many different levels.
But
I think
you could be a part.
He's a
All right,
friend.
put it like this. And I don't want to do this because I don't want to say every person that went to Hollywood
This would be easier in person.
with the Hollywood shit, right?
Yeah.
I do believe at some point your talent will get you in those rooms, but your talent will not keep you in those rooms. It's your willingness to comply. You get what I'm saying?
And the only way you get around that comply aspect, which is what Dave Chappelle does well, is he brings in the money. So you kind of have to.
Exactly. You cannot deny a Chappelle.
Yeah.
You cannot deny a Katt Williams.
A lot of talented people can be written off because they don't bring in the money.
Right. So my father used to always tell me, okay, you want to be a movie star, you want to be an actor, because I have that passion too, but I just don't like the way that Hollywood shit go.
For me,
so I used to shoot movies with my homeboy.
Yeah.
I know you ain't know no weird shit. I ain't know no weird shit either. So we good. But
at least you got that.
It's like you gotta have some dignity, and your talent will only get you so far until you gotta start selling your soul. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when somebody's on the biggest of stages, the biggest of screens, even the Jay-Z's and the Beyoncé's, they had to sell it. And I'm talking about sacrifice. And yeah, they probably had the talent to get there, but they probably ain't had the talent to stay there.
Yeah.
And this system is not ran on how talented you are. It's ran on how willing you are. But some of us, and like I was going back to what my father used to tell me, you can't love money. You gotta love your legacy more than your money. You gotta love what you stand for more than my manhood, everything. My respect is everything. So if you disrespect me, I take offense to that. You get what I'm saying? I might not attack you for it, but I make sure I keep my distance, and I watch the company you keep, so I don't keep that same company. You know what I'm saying? I do all of that.
Absolutely.
And so right now, everybody I consider an enemy, I know exactly where they at right now.
Yeah. I want to make this clear. The reason why I'm saying the things that I'm saying, the way that I'm saying it, is because I'm not thinking about right here, right now, with Jonathan Majors specifically. I'm thinking about the future. And in that future, there are a lot of men that fall into that Jonathan Majors mindset. They want to be liked. They want people to respect them. But they're not going to do what it takes to earn that true respect.
Yeah.
And because of that,
you know what we call that? You know what we call that, right?
Well, they're different words. Which one are you thinking?
They call it a hoe. You a hoe.
Okay, no, these are customers. That's my point. Yeah. I wouldn't even give him the credit of being a hoe, because a hoe still has some sovereignty in how they pull the moves off. But they are a customer and they buy from the host. And in this case, they're not buying their legacy, they're buying the attention that they care about. I want people to know me as the guy that hosted the Oscars. I want people to know me as Kang the Conqueror. That's what they're really buying. And there are a lot of guys who have similar goals in life, and people will hold that goal in front of them and say, as long as you do what I say, you will get this, even if they don't actually own the power to give them that thing. So I'm thinking about all the men specifically over the next 20, 40 years who are going to be in similar situations. And instead of standing up for themselves, they are going to do what Jonathan Majors is and roll over and just, well, one, they're not going to prepare for the situation. So they're going to end up in the situation. And then when they do end up in the situation, they're not going to know how to handle it in a strong way.
And this is what I want to say too.
Everyone, hey, don't fuck with me.
Yo,
that's what I'm thinking about. And I'll use another example. They're doing it right now to Russell Brand. And I don't know if these men are guilty of the crimes that they're saying they are, but let's assume that they aren't. And if they aren't, they're getting punished as if they are guilty. And it's because they didn't prepare for this. They didn't. I mean, Russell Brand is in a better situation, but still, they're just being dicked around by the system.
Yeah, no. So yeah, just as you guys mentioned, yeah, I got to run though. Thank y'all for having me.
Always a pleasure, yeah.
Yeah, send me the link though. I'll listen back to it though. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. Y'all take it easy.
So let me give you my perspective. Why I think they're hoes, right?
You give them more credit than I do.
The biggest a hoe is naturally hypergamous. They want the best pimp. I promise you, if somebody could come along and offer Jonathan Majors bigger, better,
bigger than
more
Disney.
money,
What's bigger than Disney?
He's gonna say, "Fuck Marvel, forget Disney. I got this over here. This is the biggest, the best."
He's gonna do something like that.
If I'm just hypothetically speaking.
No, yes. Let's go with facts.
All right.
What has he done that has demonstrated that he is willing to say no to a Disney of all systems? And when I say Disney, he's actually saying no to the world. He's saying you can hand me everything I want on silver platter simply because I'm associated with you. Who is going to offer him something greater than that?
What you got to know? So I don't want to get into the whole thing, but the mindset of a hoe is always going to be the same. Long as somebody, it's kind of like you have 1A and 1B. If 1B comes along, whatever package they have, and say, look, they ain't treating you right, baby. Come over here, I'm gonna treat you right, and you still gonna be on top of the world, and we gonna still have you in Vogue magazine taking pictures.
I agree. I think a Tyler Perry can pull that off. I think an Oprah can pull that off. But again, is he doing anything?
They can, but they don't. Do you want Tyler Perry to be your pimp? Do you want Oprah to be your pimp? All right, but if they're offering him that type of deal, then yeah, they're not. They're not going to offer him that type of deal. No. They rather play with the hoes they already have, right?
Exactly. That aren't going to make them look bad.
So the pimp put the hoe in time out, right? You in timeout, right?
Real quick, so we got our brother Nuado, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, in the chat, throwing out names that I don't think he's really considering. So Pixar is a Disney product. Sony is independent, but Sony doesn't have anything so significant that they would outshine a Disney. Paramount, it's the same story. Paramount is actually smaller than Sony, as I recall. So fundamentally, it's got to be an Oprah. It's got to be a Tyler Perry.
It's got to be a Warner Brothers. It has to be a Warner Brothers. Something that's not a part of Disney.
Yeah, you can talk about that. But my point isn't about where he goes. I was just setting an example. Like, he's at the top of the world right now, which is why it's hard to say no. So I can understand why it's difficult for him to stand up for himself. But I don't think he is demonstrated, besides the reluctant performance that he gave in that ABC news segment, he has not done anything that shows to me that he wants to go in his own direction.
No, bro. He's not trying to go. This was his final plan. All right, I'm gonna get in Disney and I'm gonna get on top of the world, and I'm gonna talk to these little European white girls like I'm the man. And it's so weird because he has a beta male mindset because ain't no goddamn way I'm Marvel's number one guy and I'm on every magazine and I only have one girl and that girl is snatching my motherfucking phone. That's the best thing he said that whole interview. I should have never been in a relationship. I should have removed myself from the car. I actually should have removed myself from the relationship. Duh. If I'm the man, I'm Jonathan Majors, and I'm on all the magazines, I'm single. There's nothing you can do about it.
And that's what I'm really getting at is that mindset because
He
more
ain't have no alpha man, but that is why they ripped his spine out his fucking back. He just
I'm
started
still saying
feeling
it was never
himself.
there. I'm still saying it was
He
never
just,
there.
they gave him the alpha. I'm telling you, they
No, no,
gave
no.
him the
On
alpha
paper, he had
energy.
everything, but he didn't act. He didn't own it because he didn't think he deserved it. Because think
He was
about it
too
this way.
busy acting.
How is he any different from the average guy we see walking down the street? So if anything, he was being humble and he's like, oh, I'm grateful all this happened, but he didn't own it. Because I'm grateful for everything that I have, but I'm also turning it into something more. And he was just, all right, thank you for the crumbs. And he thought the crumbs were the whole cookie. And that ain't it. And that's what I mean by the mindset. And that's why I'm not really talking about Jonathan Majors. I'm talking to the everyday man that is thinking and moving the same way. If you do not take charge of your life now, if you don't know what your principles are, what your standards are, if you don't know what the vision for your life is and how you want to be perceived, other people will tell you those things. They will tell you what your principles are, and you're not going to believe them. They will tell you what your vision is, and you're not going to be inspired by it. They're going to tell you what your standards are, and you're not going to hold up to them unless they give you a script. So when I'm
So
talking about Jonathan Majors, the reason why I have this stance is because I'm looking out for my brothers, and I don't think they're seeing the message. I don't think they see it, even though it's happening in real time. And this is before I get into the whole conspiracy, not even a conspiracy, a fact that the system is orchestrating itself to imprison men, literally and figuratively, in the sense of mentally, financially. They're trying to limit you because they know you're not going to stand up for yourself.
literally,
So I'm angry. I don't know. Every episode I'm angry. But
I
like,
mean, no. You need to be angry because he really went to jail for some bullshit, right? I mean, well, he really got arrested, and this whole case was some bullshit.
the
This
Tate
was
brothers.
some bullshit.
Think about it this way: the Tate brothers did everything that I just described. They did the opposite of everything I just described, and that's what I'm saying. I want people to know that they got options, and they more or less are fall into those one or two camps. You can either sit back and take it, like the Russell Brand, the Kevin Harts, the Jonathan Majors, or you can say, "Hey, Andrew Tate, what's his name? Alex Jones, another one. Alex Jones is the real G in my mind." Because Alex Jones said, "Oh, you want me to pay you $1 billion because I said something that hurt your feelings? Fuck off."
See,
Who would say
all
fuck off to? I have to pay you $1 billion, and I'm still saying fuck off. Do you understand that mindset?
yes, I
That's
understand
what I want for
all
every
those,
one of my brothers.
but that's why I say it's not on you; it's in you. It was never in him. It was never in him. I would have never gave a woman a chance to even. You would never be. If I'm Jonathan
In my
Majors,
youth,
I would never be one on one in a car with nobody besides my wife. That's it.
preach. How old is the brother? How old is Jonathan Major? Because even when whatever age he is, even when I was his age, I wasn't that silly.
He's in his 30s.
How
I'm
old?
gonna say early 30s. That's the early 30-year-old mistake. I'll say that.
As long as
That's
it
some
stays that way, I don't want it to be
yeah,
over.
yeah. When it comes to and what men gotta understand too, and I'm going to repeat myself again. The first sign a woman shows you she's crazy, and first sign she even attempts to put her hand on you. Trust me when I say this. If the woman will put her hands on you, she will call the police on you. If the woman is sitting up there trying to overdose on pills, she will call the police on you. She will do anything to bring you down, even if she has to kamikaze the relationship. We just seen a chick say she had HIV and it was from her boyfriend or some guy she was talking to. It was a whole lot the whole time. Why would you tell everybody you have HIV and it's a lie just to bring him down? Listen, when these bitches crazy, you gotta go. You gotta go. You have to go. It ain't, I hate to say it. I done been in that situation. I was enjoying a
Wait,
young
where's the hate
lady
coming from? Why do you hate to say it?
just a couple months ago. I'm like, man, this girl cool. And then she did something crazy, and I'm like, damn, I'm not gonna stick around. Like, and she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. It was just a moment in time, and I'm not usually like that. I learned my lesson one time and one time only.
Yeah.
I done learned it like 3, 4 times. But at this age of my life, if a woman shows me some extreme shit to where I could get in trouble, I'm going. He should have did that the first time. That's why I said the best thing he ever said. He said, I wasn't strong enough to leave. I wasn't this. You was a goddamn beta male. And I'm glad he said it. You're a goddamn sim. He was like, I wasn't strong enough. I wish I was strong enough to leave that situation.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have never been. Duh, you did not realize that you had all the fame, all the money, every hot shot Hollywood playboy,
Mm.
and you could not fucking leave a 5? I give her a 6. You could leave a 6. You talking to her about Coretta Scott King? You a black man talking to her about this is a European runway model. Talk to her about Balenciaga or something. Not no fucking Coretta
Another
Scott
point, people
King,
have
bro.
long conversations with their girls. I don't think they don't know the girls that they got.
Beta male, man. You gotta know your demographic. You could have said something like, I'm an Aquarius, and us Aquarius is something. Women love moons, astrology. Come on, man. We know too much. It's
My
too
brother,
much answers out here.
got it.
Oh my God, you're right. You're such an Aquarius, and I'm so sorry. It's just how you are. I need 4 women. I'm an Aquarius. Something. I'm a Capricorn. I don't play that shit. Like, she would have understood that. I need you to support me like this. That's how Capricorn men need support. Or something. Don't sit up there and say, I need you to be like Michelle Obama.
To a white.
They made him guilty just because he was saying that dumb
She's probably
shit,
like
right? It was
25.
a lot of shit he
Even know
did
who
wrong.
Coretta Scott King is. She probably still hasn't Googled it.
Why are you?
I don't know
I
why
don't
he's.
even. Why are
I
you
know why.
arguing on the phone with that girl? You're 50. You're about to be worth $250 million. Why are you arguing with? If I was worth $1 million, I would never argue with a woman.
I am not worth $1 million.
I'm not. Matter of fact, I'm not worth $1 million,
And I
and
still.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I said you
But
have a
here's what
nice
it is.
day.
What I am worth is priceless. And because of that, my power doesn't come from my paycheck. My paycheck comes from my power. And that's what I want. Well, first, I want everyone to do it. It's not just a men thing. I want men and women and children to understand that the reason people pay you the big bucks is because they respect the power within you. That's the only reason Jonathan Majors got to this point. But he still does not know that. He thinks
I see.
he got the power because they gave him the paycheck. And as long as you think that way, you will always be beholden to them. And that's why I call them the new welfare kids.
Damn, the new welfare kid, the rich welfare kid.
How are they any different than a kid on food stamps? Tell me.
Nothing.
Fundamentally, how are they any different?
A man that stands on morals and principles will
You know my
respect
story.
more than a man that doesn't.
Yeah.
That's what my boy just said. And he's right. A man that stands on morals and principles will be. I gotta respect you more. When it's time to go to war, I want him by my side.
Thank you. And Greg, you know my story, so you know I'm
not Jonathan Major by my side.
You know
you
I'm
running away from a white girl.
Exactly. And I say this as someone, and you know my story, and you've witnessed many parts of it. So it's not just one topic. You heard the story about how I was homeless. I was in a similar situation, nothing abusive, If anything, I was the one being abused, but not in any physical way. And I don't actually consider it abusive, but I understand how the psychology kids will call it abuse, but fuck them. I had a choice. I could have a nice, cushy life. Everything would be taken care of. Or I could sleep on the streets and stand on my principles. I chose the streets. I would rather be homeless than be compromised because I'm not for sale. You saw it with my health. I was supposed to die countless times. I was in and out of the hospital. You and I did season 1 while I was in and out of the hospital of this very show. So I would sometimes be in bed, high on narcotics, getting a blood transfusion, be like, hey, we got to get an episode out. So I would text you and I would make it work. And that's one of the reasons why season 1 was audio, because I couldn't be on camera looking the way that I was. It would send the wrong message. But you know what sends the right message is that even though I was in that situation, I still put in the work because I value the connection that I have with our fan base. I value the work that we're putting out because this is the stuff that my children are going to listen to. This is how they're going to learn about their dad. This is also how they're going to learn about the world. And this is also where they're going to get the same conviction that Papa had. And I want this for everybody. So when I say these things, I'm not just saying it to be a cool talking head. I'm another, what do you call it? Those Twitter kids that read a book and then they just repeat the first 5 sentences. And they're like, oh, I know about manhood. It's like, no, this ain't about that. This is about lived experience. I want this energy for a Jonathan Majors. I want it for the Russell Brands. I want it for the Kevin Harts. Because your power doesn't come from a paycheck. Man, I'm going to keep repeating that. That should be the slogan. Your power doesn't come from a paycheck.
At the end of the day, and you know me, Mr. Alphacology. The most alpha out of those 3 is Katt Williams, and he the smallest motherfucker out of all of them. It's just crazy.
He's the smallest, biggest. And then I'm like Master P. Master P is another great example. He went his own way, and you can say whatever you want. I've heard some terrible stories about him.
You could say what, like, but that's the thing, man.
He put his movies out. He said, I'm going to make a $1 billion movie and I'm going to make more money than if I was in theaters because they won't let me be in theaters. And what did he do within the first 2 weeks? And that's what it is. Katt Williams been doing the same. Sold out. What, 20 plus years? Maybe longer? Because I don't even know him.
The most talented people I have ever met in my life, bro. I kid you not. Never aren't in Hollywood. They aren't in Hollywood.
Agree.
The most talented people I ever met in my life aren't in Hollywood. One's a teacher. This guy could do everything. Guy, my old roommate, gotta do everything. Like, yo, he was super creative. I used to feed off him with my creativity, right?
Yeah.
A lot of these guys have no talent.
Agree.
A lot of these guys have no what the kids call it today, charisma. But they call it riz. They ain't got no riz.
I like that expression.
It's easy to have riz when somebody say, hey, read this off the teleprompter. Hey, throw this on, throw this outfit on, and do this interview. Let Oprah hype you up. Do you have that charisma without that? Can you still can't?
No one gives a damn.
That's what I said to myself. Like, even when I was watching, I was like, Katt Williams just want to be known as a comedian. He want to be a comedian first, then an actor. You know what I'm saying? If that goes that way. But he's not short of talented. He had a whole podcast conversation. It was hilarious. It was funny. And it was like, it hit true. And it is like, even the stuff he said about Ludacris. Ludacris responded with a rap, but he never said, "L, he lying." None of these cats said he was lying. They were just like, he's bitter and mad because he don't have what we have. But he didn't sell what you guys sold either.
Thank you.
So it's like, even if he did make it to a certain level in Hollywood, clearly he's not big as he can be. We all know that. I know a couple guys, even like a couple rappers that I really like, that I know they're very talented, and they're not as big as they can be. But yet, you have some weird hood rat, extra ignorant, extra ghetto ass rappers who can out rap me. who couldn't out rap me. Famous as hell.
Well said, well said, well said.
Like, I'm like, yo, that's why I'm never impressed with the entertainment industry, because half of the motherfuckers they give us now, I'm like, I could do that shit.
That is being generous.
But
It's
at least back in the day, with the DMXs and some of these cats, you knew this motherfucker had talent. If I want to be better than him, I gotta do this shit every day.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I see these cats rapping and singing. Oh, if I want to be better than him, all I gotta do is take a couple shots of Hennessy. And I could do what he's doing.
I gotta give myself a handicap. But that's what it is.
Like, seriously. And it's like,
actually, the game ain't different, but the players that are getting a lot of the accolades aren't worth what the pedigree.
Yeah.
You know what I was saying? It was nah. You know what?
I think the more powerful, I think the more energy a person draws, the more creativity and talent they do have. They try to marginalize them.
And there are,
I think Katt Williams, because you can't control those people like you can control people who have minimal talent. Because he did say something about a comedian named Tiffany Haddish, and she's not pretty. She's never been funny to me. And I'm like, this is true. This is true. He's right. He just pointed out, he just went out there and pointed out people who was less talented than him that were considered more successful. And he called them plants, and he called them people that sold their soul, and pretty much right. Because you still got to have a certain level of talent to even get to Hollywood. So let's not.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not taking anything away from it. But here's the word talent, and I don't like using it. That's why I haven't been using it this whole time.
Oh, man. Wow.
Because here's what it is. Everyone talks about talent like it's an everyday thing. It isn't. Talent only matters after you've demonstrated that you have the skill to even deserve to be on the playing field. So your talent if you play basketball well, that's cool. But you're not talented until everyone you play with and against is the same skill as you. And then we can see, all right, is this kid talented or is he just highly skilled? And you know sports better than I do. So I'm sure you can understand it. Like, everybody wants to play football. 99% of us can't.
I could give you a prime example now.
At the professional
interview with this all pro football player, right?
Okay.
I think he plays for the Dolphins. I forgot his name, but he's number 5 for the Dolphins. He plays defense. And I made a tweet about what he said 3 weeks prior to his podcast interview. They said, "What was the toughest quarterback you ever played?" And he said, obviously, number 1 is Tom Brady. They was like, okay, Tom doesn't count. He the GOAT. Right. Yeah, Tom Brady. I don't want to play him. Right. Yeah. But that's like a Michael Jordan-esque type player. It's hard to you gotta really know what you're doing. You gotta damn near you gotta know him better than him. But anyways, there was like the second player. So they was naming all these quarterbacks that they thought were good. He was like, no. He said Lamar Jackson.
Okay, tell me something new.
And I said a couple weeks ago, I said, the only quarterback, if I was an all-pro defensive player, the only quarterback that would scare me if I played them would be Lamar Jackson.
All right. I'm looking forward to hearing
because he could beat you throwing, and he could beat you if he can't throw the ball for him, he could beat you running. So now you have to guard your man and still look out for him at the same. It sucks because it limits what you could do. You can't really show your talent because he's so talented. You get what I'm saying?
And that's when he has, even if it's only 1%, he has that 1% of talent that overshadows whatever skill that you have.
Exactly.
And even in his profession, he's in the top 1%.
And like my boy Ye said, man, like even with going back to the Katt Williams thing, Katt Williams is way more versatile than
Absolutely
Kevin Hart.
talented.
Kevin Hart could only make you laugh one way.
And thank you. So what's his name? Katt Williams
Katt
is
Williams done made me laugh every damn way I thought. Like every way you could make me laugh, he made me do it.
yeah,
Even in a damn conversation where he's being dead ass serious, it is still hilarious.
yeah.
You know, and that is hard to do for me.
It's hard to do for
That,
anyone.
that
Yeah.
yeah, that's hard. That's hard to do for anybody. You can't be. That's to me. Okay, you're right. Your skill shows you got that little inch, and it comes usually with. It's
I
kind of
do
spin.
not. It's a shame. One day I'm going to meet Kevin Hart, and we're just going to have a conversation about me saying this. I don't think Kevin Hart is talented. I think he's skilled.
I think he is. Okay, I want to say he's talented, but not the top talent. But
What I
okay,
mean to say is
you hate the T word right now, so we gonna just say he's skilled. He
highly
got
skilled.
skills.
I think he's got more skill than he has talent. And what I mean by that is, I think Kevin Hart is a great example of what you can accomplish if you simply show up and do the work every single day, which is the number one thing that most people are afraid to do. But if you listen to him tell his story, it's no different than Katt Williams' story. It was him just waking up, doing mundane things. Alpha, how did you get so big? I went to the gym every day. I ate a certain way every day. I slept at a certain hour. I didn't get caught up in the bullshit. And I did that every day for 15 years.
Right.
Nobody wants to do that. They want the result at the end of 50 years, but they don't want to put in the work. So Kevin Hart did that. Not only that, he made the right relationships. And I think, even though I'd say he doesn't have a backbone, I think he actually does. I think he is okay with saying, you know what, since you're going to give me what I want, this is now part of the process. And I accept that this is part of the sacrifice and investment that I have to make to get what I want. Whereas Katt Williams, in that same conversation, he would be like, you're giving me what I want, but this is not how I want to do it. Maybe I don't really want that anymore anyway.
Yeah. You know,
Either way, they
someone.
both made their decision. So I actually don't hate on Kevin
All
Hart,
right.
but I
So,
think
but like,
want to be the
if
cat.
you understand Katt Williams' story, then you'll see that okay, he had a level of stubbornness to him. So that's first and foremost when you're dealing with stubborn people, uh, i.e., me. I want to get what I want. When Revolt had a chance, they came to me and said, "Oh man, we want to do this with you. We want to do that. You just gotta clean this up. You gotta clean that up." And I'm like,
And you know what? One of the reasons why I can't be bought is that Kevin Hart had very specific things that he wanted. He wanted to host the Oscars. There's only one way you do that,
"How
and
you
it's
do it?"
doing what the people that have the position tell you to do. I don't have any goal like that. I even want to
Exactly.
make a movie by the time that I die, and I want to make an animated feature. I can make that movie without the help of Hollywood.
Yeah. So that's I
It's not
could touch.
specific enough
I
where I
want to
need.
help. I want to help change lives, right?
Mhm.
And motivate men to be the most alpha male versions of themselves. I don't need Hollywood to do that.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying.
This all I need. I need a phone. I need a mic, and as long as my voice could
If
work.
the internet went out, there's no more internet. You would be on the street doing it. And
Exactly.
that's where we
Matter
both
of
started.
fact, let me tell you a
That's where we
story,
both
man.
started in the school on the street.
Let me tell you who was raised up. So a little bit about me. My father, right? We were, I think I was 11 to about 14 years old. I want to say 12. We stopped going to this one church because he fell out. He fell out with the head pastor at this one church, and he was like, "Man, I'm not going to preach no more." And my mom was like, like, we was all like, "Nah, that don't even feel right." You know what I'm saying? Because since I came out of the womb, he was preaching. So he was like, "I'm gonna start my own church." And we had no money to start our own church, no nothing. Guess how we started our church? Right there in our living room. Me,
Okay.
my mama, my sister, and he had a mic and a speaker, and he used to put the speaker outside in the yard, and he used to preach Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night. So imagine a guy with right out there. And then I think by the third week, I look outside, it's like 15 crackheads outside
Mm.
asking for prayer.
Mm.
15 drug addicts, alcoholics. Next thing you know, he started letting them in the house for church.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And then he kept being consistent. Next thing you know, we had our own church, just like that. And then one of the guys who was strung out on the drugs, come to find out he cleaned up his life. He was a millionaire. You understand that?
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been seeing men who go their own way. I've been raised around alpha energy my whole life. And you're right. If you keep doing what you're supposed to do, you can make it. Some of us don't want to do the Oscars. We just want to do what we want to do. We're gonna follow our purpose. I don't think that's a purpose in life to do the Oscars, but that's just neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna knock the man for his hustle and his drive. I just think
Exactly.
he could do. Yeah, I think a lot of us could do way better than what we're doing. Even Jonathan Majors, if he
Mm.
attacked life like he was
There's no reason
attacking,
Kevin Hart couldn't be Tyler Perry.
right,
His own version of Tyler Perry.
his own little version. There's no reason, right?
Not even little. I mean, he's short, but it would be an empire.
Yeah, so I don't want to knock nothing what these guys doing, even if they're
With
on
the
some
black
super
Napoleon.
weird,
Go on.
even if they're on super weird shit for some odd reason. Um, I always say the devil don't take a day off. Why should you?
Mhm.
So you have to look at it as, hey, this is what I want to do with my life, and I'm gonna stay consistent. And one of the ways I stay consistent, I look up. I got over 200 podcasts, maybe more. I just say 200. I'm probably around 300 and 400, and I ain't been consistent like I used to be because I should have over 1,500 episodes right now.
Yeah.
So it still beat me up inside, but hey, I got other things in life, but I'm making sure I'm trying to be the most alpha version of myself every day. And it got easier and easier to do. And once you eliminate, like you said, eliminate the bullshit, get those people, understand who everybody is in your life, what role they have, if they're an asset or a liability, and you go from there.
Mm.
Like, not for no reason, I don't think Katt Williams is not happy with his life. He's doing what he was supposed to do. We
Yeah.
know he's more talented than his counterparts,
Yeah.
even though they're considered what? More successful.
Yeah.
Tom Brady would tell you one of the most talented quarterbacks he ever seen was Lamar Jackson. Yet Tom Brady
Oh.
has, guess what? Tom
Oh.
Brady has what? 6 rings. So it's something Lamar has to build up to, and it takes consistency, right?
Yeah.
Just like these other quarterbacks, like I think Pat Mahomes is one of the best quarterbacks I ever seen in my life. The man was doing no look passes, completing them. So these guys got talent,
Mm.
but now you got to do the consistency. You got to do when it. And I hate to say this and this coming from a talented person, and I did a podcast on it. When you're talented, sometimes you're lazy and
Yeah.
you forget to look at the little shit. The
That's why
little
most
shit for me,
top 10.
the little shit, the little shit for me might be doing these 10, 15-minute podcasts, but that could have got me over my hump. The
Mm.
little shit for me is actually sitting down and converting all my podcast episodes to YouTube episodes.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying?
I do.
And
I do.
those little things that, like you said, so mundane, that could get you over the top and you don't even know it. Like even me, I could be over the top on Twitter if I start running my own Twitter spaces, dropping gems.
Mm-hmm.
But my heart not right there right now. but it's just little things I can do to make it better. Like I have a young lady. She's probably frustrated with me right now because I don't promote my podcast enough. She just feels like, hey, if you, I say, you know what, I'm gonna let you do it.
That works.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you do it, and I'm gonna get on board. But right now, I'm just going through my day. I don't have time to sit up there and edit my my podcast videos and put it on TikTok, and I don't even do TikTok. That's what I'm telling her.
Yep.
But I got a TikTok page that got like a couple hundred followers right now from the little stuff that she did help me do. So it's just like, oh, okay. But it's like those little things that we could grow and we could do what we need to do. Like the Andrew Tate guy. I liked him. I'm like, he's saying all the shit I already done said.
It's actually pretty boring. When you listen to Andrew and Tristan Tate, it's actually pretty boring. If
But guess what?
you're like us.
Yeah, if you like us.
It's
So it's just like,
because we don't see it all the time, but it's like, oh, we already know this.
yeah, so it's just like, wait a minute. I'm thinking this is for me. And the guys that I like, that I feel like, okay, I need to listen to them. Everybody don't listen to them. So it's like, oh, it's kind of like you got the regular class with 48 kids, you got the advanced class with 20 kids, and then you got the gifted class with 4 kids. I'm over here in the gifted class thinking about something else. Like I just told you at the beginning of the podcast, the whole wokeism shit, that was me from 2008 to about 2015. So what they're arguing about on Twitter right now, from FBA to Pizzagate to child sex trafficking to unjust laws to all the bullshit they already talking about, Hollyweird, Illuminati, casting couches for men, especially for men. I already done had these conversations 10 years ago. So it's just like, oh, hey, welcome. Wait till you find out about this. Oh, you think that's something? Wait till you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like I told you about reparations. Wait till you find out that white people are able to get reparations.
They didn't think that far ahead.
They didn't think.
It's a short-sighted group. All these people are short-sighted, but that's why we have this show. That's why we get to talk about the things that we do, because we get to give that perspective.
Okay, and I'm going to tell you, even though I grew up in church, we do have to address, not now, but a little bit later, the allegations. I don't even say that. I'm just going to say this. Nothing produces more sissies and simps than the church. Why is that? When it's supposed to be producing nothing but alpha males. Why is that?
Yeah. Well, that's how you know.
Nothing against the sissies and simps, but I just noticed nothing produces more of that shit. Right? Nothing produces more than the church. Why is that? Do we not read the Bible?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. The true church. Well, first off, you are the church. So the truest church should make you the best version of yourself. That was the original self-improvement program.
The original self-improvement program is the Bible? Or is church?
The word. Let's say the word. Right. I don't even like using the word Bible anymore, because the Bible is all the fake versions of the Bible. They keep rewriting it. It's not the Bible. So the word, when I say the word, I mean the true word will make you a better person for yourself, even by yourself. That said, the church originally was meant to be that tool, the telltale sign that a church, in a regular word church among regular people, the telltale sign that you're at a wrong church is if you don't become a better person week after week. and they're not producing that. They might make you richer though. There are some people that go to church because they're making money off of it.
Man, I thought about that. I'm like, man, I need to just go back to church.
But that's not necessarily making you a better person.
Joel Osteen Church makes about $2 million a Sunday, and it's 52 Sundays in a year.
Tax, no tax, man.
If I could just get my acting down, I would be at a mega church.
But here's the other part of it. Here's the other part of it, Greg. What I meant was just networking. You go there, you network. There are important people there. You make moves. You're going to make money off of that. That's what relationships are.
Of course.
Consider that a bad thing. So, like, anyone can make money at a church. But my point is, just because you make money at your church doesn't mean you're becoming a better person. Just because you have better things in your house or you have a better house doesn't mean you're a better person. And that's what I was saying, the difference between skill and talent. Like, if you do the work, it's easy to get paid. But whether or not you're doing something that you're proud of, that you enjoy your legacy, and you're leaving lessons for your children to model because they're sincere about it, as opposed to daddy did it, he got rich. And all that matters is getting rich.
Man, listen. And I never seen that. I never, sometimes the happiest I seen my father was when the household income was at the lowest. I promise you. And that sometimes that's the happiest I seen him. Right? The happiest I seen him is when we had no church and he was just out there in the living room preaching with the speaker in the yard and the drug addicts out there listening and cheering it on. Boy, he couldn't tell that man nothing. You couldn't tell him nothing. And I wasn't go, hey, whatever peace and joy he had at that time, he still has it. I want that.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? So I have to get back to that. So that even when I'm online and I'm surfing the web, I find myself getting a tad bit frustrated. I'll put that phone to the side. I'll read my Bible. I'll read my books. I'll listen to an old podcast. I'll turn on the Making Moves show and laugh and, oh yeah, we gotta go back. We gotta talk about that again. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. People think we're crazy when we listen.
I always say, like, when I re-listen to certain shit, I'm like, man, we gotta talk about this again. A lot of shit changed. Like, we have to sit up there and talk about the tunnels under the Jewish synagogue. And why are we? I don't want nobody to be surprised. You should know weirdo energy when I don't even want to call it weirdo. You just should know different energy like that when you feel it and see it. Why aren't we that? Why aren't you that woke to know a coat when you see a coat? Right? Why aren't you that woke when you see a woman that has fire red hair in her head?
You get mad at me
I don't
when
know
I
why
call it
you
out.
think,
You're like, oh, you're a bad
why
man.
you think I don't know why you think she's mentally stable all the way. She's not.
Gosh. It can all be so simple.
Or a woman with blue or green hair or rainbow colored hair that to ever think she's gonna be a pillar of wisdom. Same thing with a guy. Guy got tattoos all over his body and his face. No, that's not how that works.
It's not. So all right, let's wrap it up here.
I always say those are warning signs. Like
it's the colored toad, the poisonous frogs in nature.
Yeah.
So let's wrap it up though. So is there any, because we can talk about this for hours more. And we're definitely gonna touch these topics again in future episodes. What's the last thought as we exit?
The last thought should have always been is always gonna be life is much easier when you're alpha. When you're alpha male. When you're alpha male minded, life is way easier. That's it. Katt Williams. His life is way easier. He shows way more dominance. He gets way more fame being an alpha male minded man. With that being said, we see the beta male and how his life is ruined by a woman. And he sits there and tells you guys in an interview he should have never been in that car. He wished he was strong enough to walk away from that relationship long before that incident happened. See, if he was alpha male minded enough, the girl would have never been a girl. He would never be in a monogamous relationship with that type of woman.
Yeah.
Right? So that is it. Being alpha minded will save your life. It literally will save your life. Every time I was being beta male minded, I ended up in trouble.
That's true.
I ended up every time. Every you see it. Everybody who's beta male minded ends up in trouble, or they don't get the accolades they think they should get, or people don't respect them like they should. If they were alpha, if Kevin Hart was a little bit more alpha male minded, you would think Kevin Hart would have something to say about him. No, well, Katt Williams would have something to say about him. No, so that's always going to be it. Like your life is going to be way simple if you do what's best for you and you have principles and values that you actually give a fuck about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It really is.
That's all.
It really is that simple.
It's really that simple, bro.
That's what it is. It's just owning your life because you don't want to be owned.
Be who you are, man.
Simple as that. But this was a great episode. We enjoyed having our brother Kanye. Glad he could make it out for this episode. He's part of the crew, y'all. I want you to know this. He's part of the crew. We're going to have more episodes with him. We're still figuring out the details, the tech, the scheduling. But once we get it down, we're going to be delivering this probably multiple times a week. But one step at a time. Thank you for being part of it. And it's the Make It Move show. So follow our lead. We're leading from the front. Follow our lead and go out and make move.
Peace out.
Peace.